lockout is coming, folks. The lockout is absolutely coming. And the WNBA players have made it abundantly clear that they are in crybaby mode continuously. As most recently, you had Satou, Sabally, and Napheesa Collier whining once again about the WNBA. Always something to complain about. This is the CBA talk right now. And the more they speak, the more likely it appears that we are heading towards a lockout. And then we'll find out just really how much people care about the WNBA. We will find out just how much these players care about playing in the WNBA because they seem more concerned about having part-time jobs in the offseason to make money than they do to excel and put in 100% effort to their main gig. In this case, the WNBA, it's been reported that they are looking to increase salaries by about 4 times. So if you are making 250 the max or whatever it is, 249 and change, they're looking at max salaries at about $1 million a year to play in the WNBA. Now, if I'm paying you $1 million a year to play in my league, you damn Skippy, I don't want you playing in other leagues in the off season. You can have another job. You can be a commentator. You can have a business. You can do whatever you like, but you are not going to play in another league. I am not risking my $1 million investment on you playing for Unrivaled, for some team in Europe or in China or in Japan or in wherever the hell else. It's not happening. And this seems to be a major sticking point in negotiations. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. So here is Satou Sabally the other day talking about the WNBA, CBA negotiations.
Satou, you were saying on TikTok that the league doesn't want you guys playing on Unrivaled, the league doesn't want you guys playing overseas. What was expressed to you?
I wasn't aware that they already publicly announced that. I mean, that's wrong. I made more money at Unrivaled than excluding this year in my entire WNBA career, so that's not right.
All right, so again, she's voicing that she's made more money on Unrivaled than she's made in her entire WNBA career, excluding this year. This year, she's making $215,000. Now, they refuse to really release their actual salaries in Unrivaled. So clearly, did she make 200? Did she make more than 200? Did she make? I don't know. They've never announced an actual salary. They've announced an average, which ranged from 200 to 220, depending on the article that you read. But never did they say what the base salary was. Never did they say what they were making. You know that Sabrina Ionescu darn sure wasn't making $200,000 to do this because she was a last minute addition to Unrivaled. That said, that's great. You can make whatever you want. So guess what? Satou Sabally, guess what? You can go play in Unrivaled. No one's stopping you. You just can't play in the WNBA. Simple solution to the problem. There are plenty of businesses that do not allow employees to have separate businesses, let alone separate businesses that compete with their business. So if I have a if I work for a sports agency, I can't create a sports agency and still work for another sports agency. It's a conflict of interest. If I mean, you have the option. Go play it Unrivaled. Don't play in the WNBA. No one's forcing you. Satou Sabally admitted in the offseason that she only practiced about an hour a day during Unrivaled. They only played about an hour twice a week, and no one played more than 20 minutes in a game because the games only lasted 24 minutes, basically, of game clock. I don't want to hear it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But then you had Napheesa Collier with her comments, because Napheesa Collier has had a lot to say about a lot of things. Let's hear Napheesa Collier.
Feels like it's going same old, and we're not making a lot of progress. So definitely, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like the league, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. We obviously want to get a deal done. It feels like the league doesn't have that same urgency, and the deadline is quickly approaching. So, I feel like a lot of stuff has to get done. We're not close right now.
So the league doesn't have to have urgency. The league loses money. The league loses money. And lo and behold, you have one of the founders of Unrivaled, who's involved in this conflict of interest. If Unrivaled wants to go be a 5-on-5 league, go do it. If you don't want to agree to something that seems like it's a non-negotiable, then don't play in the WNBA. No one's forcing these players to play in the WNBA. If I'm paying somebody $500,000, $750,000, and we got to stop comparing this to the NBA. They are two separate leagues. Salaries in the NBA are created in large part due to television deals. It's that simple. They are largely created through television deals. So we need to stop making comparisons about percentages, the whole nine. The WNBA doesn't have a television deal worth crap. They want to add teams. They got new teams. So now the television money gets split even more. The league still does not, there are teams that still can't fill up small arenas. No one has true interest in this league beyond the people that came over to watch Caitlin and Angel. And these former players stand on this thought process that they really are the reason that folks are watching this game. I grant there are more fans today than there were 2 years ago. Yeah, because Caitlin Clark brought over a truckload of fans, and some of those fans have chosen to watch other games. I can tell you this: a lot of those fans have walked away this year because Caitlin Clark hasn't played. A lot of them have. They're in my chats constantly. They don't watch the games. They come to our chats. They come watch our videos for information because they have no interest in watching Indiana Fever play basketball without Caitlin Clark. There was a post recently that talked about how the Aces and whoever did 1.2 million viewers. Factually incorrect, because I actually verified it. It was 230,000 viewers. And of course, that poster on X blocked anyone replying if you weren't someone that he followed, because they want to spit out misinformation and lies, because misinformation and lies is great. It helps these players. Here's the problem. You spreading misinformation and lies to the public, the ownership has the real information. The ownership knows that game the other day that they're talking about did at 1.2 million, it did 230,000 viewers. Nobody cares. No one cares. What is today? Today is the 29th. 8/26/25. That's probably where we get some ratings. Okay, Tuesday night. Were there any WNBA games? There's not one WNBA game listed here for ratings. Let's see if we got something for 8/27. No, we don't. Part of moving games to Amazon Prime is we can't get ratings on those games. Monday, Aces versus Sky. That was the game. That was supposedly 1.2 million on X. 230,000 viewers. 230,000 viewers. It was the lowest watch programming on cable television besides the Tampa Bay Rays and Cleveland Guardians on FS1. It's the second or third lowest rated programming of the night. Like, stop the lie. Stop the lie. You want to create a narrative that says that people are watching you play? Cute. Here's the reality. If you're being Napheesa Collier will make $1 million playing in the WNBA. Satou Sabally would probably command a max contract of $1 million in the WNBA. And you're sitting here complaining about, oh, you want to complete Unrivaled? Well, did Unrivaled pay you $1 million last year? Did Unrivaled pay you $500,000 last year? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Satou Sabaly's contract, because she says this, but she won't say what she made. See, that's the thing. People who make bread have no problem admitting, man, I made $500,000 last year. I made $1 million last year. I made XYZ last year. Okay. We know the contracts in the WNBA aren't fabulous. We know this. Satou Sabally, in her rookie deal, had 3 years, $213,000, an average of $72,000 a year. So what she's saying is that she made more money than that. Okay. Last year, she made $195,000. So what she's saying is that she made almost $500,000 from Unrivaled this past year. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Show it to us on paper that maybe based on her first contract. I don't believe that they paid Satou Sabally $500,000 to play in the in Unrivaled. I don't believe it. And unless you show me on paper, I don't believe you because you're gaslighters. You guys lie. You incessantly lie. And if that's the case, you have an easy solution. Don't play in the WNBA. If you told me I could make $500,000 to work for 2.5 months out of a 12-month year, I would do it in a second. In a second. And I wouldn't do shit the rest of the year. I'd have other business ventures, but I wouldn't. Why subject your body to all the pounding? She's the one complaining about back-to-backs twice in 4 months, 5 games in 8 days. Oh my God, the world's ending. Paid $215,000 this year to play basketball, always having a problem. Collier, you'd make $1 million. But we already know that Collier has a vested interest in not having that go forward because it doesn't benefit her to have that rule. It hurts her financially. So she's against a rule that would hurt her financially. A conflict of interest. She should not be involved in any level of negotiations with the CBA because of this. If the WNBA's main sticking point is you can't play in other leagues if I'm paying you $1 million a year, well, who benefits? Who loses more than anybody? Napheesa Collier and Brenna Stewart. They got no business being in these negotiations because they're not operating in good faith. You do not see NBA players playing in other leagues. And I know they're responsible. Well, they make $40 million, 50, 60, $30 million. It doesn't matter what they make. They're prohibited. They cannot go play in the big three. They can't go play in competing leagues. It's ridiculous. God forbid I protect my business. There are all kinds of clauses in athletic contracts. There's clauses of you can't, if you're a football player, you can't go play basketball. You can't do any crazy stunts, like you can't jump out of airplanes and go skydiving. You can't go scuba diving. You can't ride motorcycles a la Ask Jay Williams. Career ended on a motorcycle accident. They don't want you to do these things because you are an investment to their business. And these women should feel appreciated by the fact that they're being viewed as an investment to the business. So no, we cannot have you playing and doing other things that could risk your health. People were getting hurt left and right in Unrivaled this year. Left and right. Players missing the entire 25 WNBA season from injuries in Unrivaled. So no, they don't want you to. But if that's your hard line, then you have a choice. Don't play in the WNBA. Go play in Unrivaled. Go make the money for as long as you can make it and call it a day. Call it a day. But I guarantee you there are players in the WNBA that would happily sign a deal that promises them close to $1 million. And I don't got to do anything else the rest of the year, play anywhere else. Nah. And some of them have endorsement deals, so it's not like they don't make more money on the side. Most of these players now are making money in endorsements because of Caitlin Clark. Let's just be real. The attention she brought everybody, but they will never acknowledge it. They'll never acknowledge it. Unrivaled basketball TV ratings, the best ratings they had were the first weekend and the freaking one-on-one competition. The one-on-one. Between that, they had horrendous ratings. Again, you go play Unrivaled. Do whatever you want. You made more money? Hey, but you still ain't told us what it was. So therefore, I don't have to believe you until you tell me what it was. Show me on paper. And again, if they did and it's true, then go play there. No one's stopping you. But you can't play in the WNBA. This league is going to a lockout. The league is going to go into a lockout. If the league is hardlining this, you can't play other leagues, they're going to go into a lockout. And how long that lockout goes, don't know, man. It could go the entire season. If these players are steadfast on this, it could completely end the league. Because if I'm an owner of a professional basketball team and I'm paying you $1 million to play basketball, you damn sure ain't playing nowhere else. Let alone a place where in a league where there's no standard of care. Players were falling off left and right in Unrivaled this past year. Falling off left and right. They had no training camp to come in, rushed in. They weren't ready to play basketball. The type of play it is, their bodies can't handle. That 3-on-3 full court style, their bodies can't handle it. Even doing it twice a week for 45 minutes a day. Clearly their bodies couldn't handle. They were just completely out of shape. Or both. And these players will have you believe that they're going to go on strike. Well, you can go on strike right now. No, when you get locked out, you're not on strike. You're locked out. These players are crazy. These players are crazy. They really believe the shit that shit they're selling. I watched the game last night, bro. I watched whatever game was on last night with Phoenix and Chicago. 83-79. Don't know how many people watched it. Ratings haven't come out yet. I watched it. But I can assure you right now, and I have data to prove it, that people aren't watching these games anymore. If Caitlin Clark's not a part of it, they're not watching it. Your ratings are dropping because the skewer of the ratings is falling. All you gotta do is look at the Angel Reese game with Caitlin Clark, and neither of them played, and the ratings were like 1.3 million. First game of the year was like 2.7 million. Seems like it matters who plays. But yeah, lockout's coming, and what happens once the lockout comes? Out of sight, out of mind, and people are gonna just completely stop caring, except for those that already care, that really care, because most of us don't really care. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. Come on now.